All right, welcome to APMvideo.com, and with me now, Turfside, Gary Firestone. And Gary, the Salty Dogs taking on one of the premier teams, the LA Athletics, and your thoughts going into Game 3.
Yeah, and I've played on that team for 13 years in the past, so I know most of those guys, and I've played for these guys probably the last 6-7 years. I know all these guys. It's going to be a good game. Yeah.
Gary, what keeps you coming back to this tournament?
You know, my love of baseball. I've played 70 straight years without taking a break. I started when I was 5 years old. I'm 75 now. I used to come down here 4 or 5 weeks. I've cut it down to 2. I need to be home with the family. I can't put all the responsibilities on them. But, you know, I'm going to do it till I can't do it anymore. I love playing baseball, and I can still play.
All right, good luck today.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
APNvideo.com is on the air, and today we're coming to you from Salt River Fields in Scottsdale. It's the Rhode Island Salty Dogs taking on the Los Angeles Athletics. We're in the 73 age group division. Jeff Lowry with APNvideo.com. So glad you could join us here today. The Salty Dogs coming in here with a record of 2-0. On the other side, the Athletics, a team that is playing in an upper division, and they are hoping to come up with a win here to get back over the 500 mark. They come in with a record of 1-1. They feature one of the top pitchers, left-hander Charlie LaDuca. He's got an outstanding curveball, breaking pitches, and it really adds some feet to that fastball. And he will toe the rubber to start things off here for Frank Hanford and Gary Schultz, the two coaches for Los Angeles. And we are getting set to go here for baseball. You saw Bill Krieg, the manager of the team, bringing out the lineups. And here is the first pitch of the ball game. And it is taken for a strike, and this game is underway. Just a beautiful morning for our national pastime for this 9:30 start time. The next pitch misses inside to Gad Holland, who will lead things off. And they are hoping that this is the guy that can bring them a good on-base percentage and be the catalyst at the top of the lineup. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gad Holland. Mike Marconi and Mark Fess will follow here in the top of the first inning. Might come back with that big breaking pitch or the curve, and he did, and it's chopped down to third. Picked up there by the third sacker, and the throw to first is in time, and they get the out. So a fine defensive play down at the hot corner by the Athletics third baseman. So 1 up and 1 down, and second place hitter here is Mike Marconi. Our game time temperature is 70 degrees here in Scottsdale, Arizona. 1 out, nobody on. Just underway in the 73 age group and older. 1 ball, no strikes on Mike Marconi. The Rhode Island Salty Dogs taking on the LA Athletics. And there's Mark Fess. Filmed him quite a few years ago when they had the day at the AT&T Park. He had a triple or a inside the park home run. I know he had a big belt in that one. Here's a line drive caught by the shortstop, and there's 2 down. So a nice catch by the Athletics shortstop, and that's Bill Bright. So with 2 down, the dangerous Mark Fess. He takes the first pitch, called strike. Good pitch that time. Good fastball by LaDuca, but the breaking ball might be his best pitch, or the curve. And the changeup catches the outside corner. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Mark Fess. And that one too much out of the strike zone, and Mark Fess shows some good patience at the plate, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. That was Bob Sherwin. Here's the pitch, and popped up, and this one is going to be backing out of play. Nobody on with 2 out here in the top of the first inning. That one bounced up there, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Mark Fess. Bill Wall hoping for a chance to bat next. He's the cleanup hitter. The 2-2. And it's slapped foul down the left field line. Salt River Fields opened in 2011 for the Colorado Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the stadium may be the best of all stadiums here in Arizona for spring training play. So after getting ahead in the count, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes on Mark Fess. Third place hitter in the lineup, and the next delivery is swung on and slapped to the right side. There's the second baseman. He's up with it and makes the running throw to first, and just in time. So a fine defensive play at second. 3 up, 3 down for the Rhode Island Salty Dogs. And after a half an inning, it's... Okay, you're getting a look at the starting pitcher here today. It's going to be Larry Hendrickson. Hendrickson will be facing Haas, Posner, and Bob Britz, the first 3 here for manager Bob Sherwin. So 71 degrees, our game time temperature on a blustery morning here in late October. First pitch, a cold strike to Wayne Haas. Haas is a guy they really want to keep off the base paths if you're the Salty Dogs, playing up a division against this Los Angeles Athletics team, and they're one of the best. Two balls and 1 strike on the leadoff hitter, and he swings and grounds 1 foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Posner on deck. And that will run the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom half of inning number 1. The Salty Dogs went down in order 1, 2, 3. And it's a slap down to first base. That ball is going to be picked up there by the first baseman. He'll take it to the bag. That's Steve Stallman, and there's 1 down. Now Seb Posner, who takes outside for ball 1. They got crossed up maybe on their communications. Seb Posner, 73 years young, just made the cut for this 73 and older age group division of the 2025 Msbl World Series. Nobody on with 1 out, with Bob Britz on deck, and the pitch to Posner, and that one got him. So he is hit by a pitch. He will head down to first base, and Bob Britz, the third place hitter, coming up. Gary Firestone is getting the start in right field. The third baseman is Ernie Burton, and that's ball 1. Takes a strike, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. And strike 2 called. Good pitch on a nice location. If it actually was in the strike zone, you know how these MSBL umpires are. And he slaps one right at the third baseman, and a nice catch there by Ernie Barton, and there is 2 down here in the inning. The ball was hit pretty hard, but it was right at the third baseman. He had to make the play slightly to his right. And so with 2 down, the cleanup hitter, Alan Arthur, digs in against Larry Hendrickson, the starting pitcher for the Rhode Island Salty Dogs. First pitch in there for a strike. Well, you love it when you see that first pitch called strike. changeup just a bit low. And the count is even on Alan Arthur at 1 ball, 1 strike with Dan Little waiting in the wings on deck. That one bounces up there. No advancement of the runners at this 73 age group. Getting the start in center field is Mike Marconi. That one gets away, and catching the balls and strikes behind home plate as that's ball 4. Arthur is aboard for Dan Little.
28.
An excuse me swing. It's popped up on the infield. Who's got it? And it's going to be the third baseman to haul it in, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 2 left without a base hit after 1 inning of play. From Salt River Fields in Scottsdale, we're scoreless. All right, we go to the top of the second inning back here at the MSBL World Series. I know you keep hearing a batted ball in the background. Well, we're right in the middle of, there's actually 5 diamonds right here in the same vicinity. Bill Wall starts things off. He'll be followed by the first baseman, Steve Stallman, and then the right fielder, Gary Firestone. And a swing and a miss, and down he goes. That's the first punch out of the ball game, and there's 1 down. 1 out, 1 nobody on for Steve Stallman. Good all-around player right here. First pitch is taken low for a ball. Scoreless tie, top of the second inning. Second inning of work for Charlie LaDuca. Quickly, 2 balls and no strikes on Steve Stallman. Bats here in the top of the second inning from Salt River Fields, Scottsdale, Arizona. And he took a swing at a 2-0 pitch. He had the green light and came up empty-handed. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. And a foul back, and the count now evens 2-2. Alan Arthur doing the catching here today for Los Angeles. Harry Eichmann is the catcher for the Salty Dogs. I couldn't find his number. I just now located it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And LaDuca delivers. And he lost him, ball 4, a 1-out walk. To Steve Stallman, he represents the first run of the ball game, and the always dangerous Gary Firestone digging in from the left side. I always say that he has a similar batting stance of Mr. October. He's a little bit more closed off than Reggie was, and he takes inside ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Gary has been playing baseball, he says, since he was 5 years young. And he's been playing now 70 years. He says, well, I don't know how long I'm going to keep going. I think as long as they're 73 and 75-year-old divisions, he's probably going to come out here. He takes another strike, and he's down 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gary Firestone at the plate, California native. And he fouls that one off. That was a protection swing, no question about it. And the breaking ball, which was up, and he swung through it. He's asking the home plate umpire if that ball was in the strike zone, and I doubt that would have been called, but he goes down on strikes. That's the second strikeout of the inning. and the second strikeout of the day for Charlie LaDuca. Pellegrini will be the batter with 2 out and a runner at first base. We're scoreless here in the top of the second inning. Good off-speed pitch there. And he did exactly with that pitch what he wanted to do in talking about the left-hander Charlie LaDuca. That was to get that hitter to fish for it. And a swing and a miss, and he struck him out on 3 pitches. After an inning and a half of baseball from Salt River Fields in Scottsdale, we're scoreless. It's Rhode Island against Los Angeles. All right, second inning of work for the starting pitcher here today, which is Hendrickson. He'll be facing the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. He'll be Billy Bright to start things off. Bob Sherwin is on deck, and then Mark Miller. A wave and a miss. Nice breaking pitch. And you could see the hitter trying to barrel it up, try to get the barrel kind of out in front of the plate. And he was way out in front of that pitch, and now he slaps one to the right side, gobbled up there. And the throw on to first is in time for out number 1. So Mark Fess taking care of business at second base. That goes 4-3, and here's Bob Sherwin. I'd like to thank Bob for sending over the complete roster and giving us the starting lineup. Mark Miller is on deck, home half of inning number 2, a scoreless tie. We're in the 73-plus age division, and here's a line drive out into left field, and in front of the left fielder, Ralph Leaf. That's a base hit. So a good line drive, clean single to left field by Bob Sherwin. And the batter is left-handed hitting Mark Miller. Sherwin represents what would be, if he scores, the first run of the ball game. And here's a chopping ball to the shortstop. He will take it to the bag for 1, throw it on to first, and it's a 6-3 double play. And that'll retire the side. So a nice job there. You got number 28, the starting shortstop, Carter Juice. And at the end of 2, we're scoreless at the 2025 MSBL World Series. So an inning, 6-4, or rather a 6-3 double play. Third time up for the Salty Dogs, and here's Jerry Daisy. And out in front of that outstanding breaking pitch, Charlie LaDuca. Close-up look at him. And comes right back in with a beautiful fastball. Dotted that thing on the inner half. Really off the inside corner. And it's 1-2 now to Daisy. And he pops it up. And who's got it? The pitcher will let that one roll foul. So another 1-2 pitch coming up to Daisy. Crudale and Pabon will be the next 2 hitters for the Rhode Island Salty Dogs. Rhode Island beat Fresno 16-12 and beat TSP Chicago by a score of 15-8. The Salty Dogs have a +10 run differential. Grounded back up the middle, and LaDuca, who fields his position well, throws on to first base, and there's one down. Terry Teskey is the first baseman. So 1 up and 1 down. That's 3 in a row set down by LaDuca. And now he'll go up against the 8th place hitter in the lineup. Check that, the 9th place hitter in the lineup in Angelo Crudale. LaDuca has set down 7 of the 8 hitters that he has faced so far in this game, including 3 in a row. He has struck out 3. He has yielded a walk, So 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 2 in a third inning. And now Crewdale trying to get something going here. He got jammed on that pitch, actually swung through it, and that is the 4th punch out of the day for Charlie LaDuca. 2 down. And now Ivan Pabon. First time up for him, and the pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen. So LaDuca ahead in the count. Swing and a miss. Ivan had a good cut at that fastball, or the changeup. It was a little out in front of it, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. No matter what age group you are in, when you get the barrel, you got a fairly level swing or a smooth swing, and you're getting that barrel out in front, good things can happen. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. He didn't like the call. And down he goes as we head to the home half of the third. 3 shutout innings of 5 strikeout baseball for LaDuca. And we go now to the bottom half of inning number 3 in a scoreless tie. Salt River Fields in Scottsdale. First baseman Terry Teskey, Bill Mitchell, and Roger Johnson will be the first 3. That's a strike. So first time up for Teskey. And he takes the pitch outside for a ball. Third inning of work for Larry Hendrickson in this 73 age group division of the 25 Msbl World Series. 2 balls and 1 strike on the first baseman. The Athletics come in here as this one's hammered out in the center field, and it is going to be caught on a nice running catch. Mike Marconi in center field, and there is 1 down. That'll bring up Bill Mitchell. Bill Mitchell, 75 years old, right-handed hitter, bats with nobody on and 1 out. And strike called. 0-1 on Mitchell. The A's come in here. They're in the National Division. They're in there with the Solons and MBI. They defeated Lehigh Valley 22-4, but lost to MBI 6-5. They have a plus 17 run differential through 2 games, while the Salty Dogs have a plus 10 through their first 2 games. Home half of the third inning. Nobody on. Mitchell at the plate. And he lifts this one, foul ball along the first base side. Mitchell is down 0-2. Would not chase on the fastball low and away, and the count runs to 1-2. Bill Mitchell at the plate. The wind, the kick, and the pitch. And he pops this one up, but no one will get there. That was not hit all that hard. Exit velocity on that one, I think, was at a -23. Thanks to StatCast for our exit velocity meter that we have right here behind home plate. And the fastball missed inside. Good velocity on that one. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mitchell. Batting with 1 out, we're in the bottom half of the third inning. A scoreless tie from the winter home of the Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2-2. That one is, well, I guess that was 3-2. Ball 4. Now Roger Johnson. Runner at first, 1 out. Bottom half of the third, and the first pitch, a strike called. 73 age group division of this 25 MSBL World Series. The Salty Dogs with the white tops and the gray pants, and Of course, the A's are in the, I don't know if they go by the A's, but they're the Athletics. And here's a swing and a ground ball right side. And the quick throw to first in time, 2 down. That'll move the runner up into scoring position. Good play by Mark Fest. 2 down here in the inning. We go back to the top of the order. Unless they add someone at the bottom. And we are going back to the top of the order. Here's Wayne Haas. Runner at second, 2 out. And throwing strikes is Larry Hendrickson, and he delivers. 0-1, and that one got away. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're on the Colorado Rockies side of Salt River Fields as the wind starts to whip up. And the pitch missed outside after getting ahead in the count. Hendrickson has fallen behind, 2 balls and 1 strike. Grunted on that pitch. I wonder if he tried to overthrow it a little bit. It's now 3-1. Popped him up. Left field, this is going to drop in, and that's a base hit, and the runner from second will stay at third. So a base hit, and that is the first hit of the ball game. First hit for either team. Seb Posner is the batter. He was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. He takes a strike. So runners are at the corners. One ball and 1 strike. And it's outside. You could hear our home plate umpire, Satch Davidson, saying outside. Wind picking up here at Salt River Fields, Colorado Rockies side. The go-ahead run is at first base, or third base, and now the pitch, and it's outside a ball. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike, so he's went 3 balls on the last 2 guys that he's faced. Hendrickson needing an out with 2 out and 2 on, and here's a line drive towards Mark Fess, and he makes the catch. A fine running catch to retire the side. And at the end of 3 innings of play, we're scoreless in Scottsdale, Arizona. Jeff Lowry back here from the ballpark, and we go now to the top of the 4th inning. First batter up is Gad Holland. That's a strike. 4th inning of work for Charlie LaDuca. He has pitched 3 innings of no-hit baseball. He has walked 1. He has struck out 5. Charlie LaDuca. Southpawer. Line drive, and that is going to drop in for a base hit, and I jinxed him. Good shot to right field. Good job of just going where the pitch was, and a base hit for Gad Holland. That's hit number 1 for the Salty Dogs. That'll bring up the center fielder, Mike Marconi. With Mark Fess on deck. Second base runner of the day. And that breaks up a 5 in a row set down by Charlie LaDuca, the L.A. Now we got a hit batsman, so runners are at first and second. I'm sorry, that was ball 4. So that's a walk. I think we were just off the air for a little bit. Sorry about that, Mark. And, or rather, Mike Marconi. And here's Mark Fess. He takes a strike. So they got runners at first and second, and got something brewing here in the top of the 4th inning. One ball, 1 strike on Fess. He grounded out to second base back in the first inning. Really good ball player here. And a swing and a foul tip, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1-2.
Is the count on Fess. And a line drive. Down the line, just foul. He was able to get the bat head out in front of it, but opened up just a bit too much. And the count will hold at 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 2 runners on and nobody out, and the pitch is low, 2-2. Good eye by Mark Fess. Bill Wall, the cleanup hitter, is on deck for the Rhode Island Salty Dogs. And he hammers one out into left center field. That ball's going to get down. It's in the gap. Here comes the runner to third. And they'll hold him up right there, so the bases are loaded and nobody out, the second hit of the inning. So the second time round in the batting order, the Salty Dogs are seeing some results here that they like. Gad Holland, a leadoff opposite field single to right. Marconi draws the walk, and Fess with a base hit. They're loaded for Bill Wall. We're in a scoreless tie here in the top of the 4th inning. And a line shot, and it's under the glove, base hit out into left field. The Salty Dogs will draw first blood on a line drive RBI single by Bill Wall, and they jump out in front first. It's 1-0. Gad Holland scores from third, Marconi at third, Fess at second, and now the courtesy runner coming out is going to be Ralph Leaf. Bases loaded, still nobody out against LaDuca, and the first pitch is inside, ball 1. Boy, what a job behind home plate by Alan Arthur. It cannot be easy catching a game of baseball at age 74. 1 ball, no strikes. This is Stallman. He drew a walk back in the second inning, and he bats with the bases loaded, no out here in the top of the 4th. Well, let's see what Stallman can do here. Here's the pitch. Fouled it off.
Bases loaded.
LaDuca to Stallman. And he lifts it in the air, and LaDuca makes the catch. Fine play. Think he might have stumbled over the first base chalk line. What do you think? Still came up with the play, and that's a big first out. So that's 1 unassisted. Bases remain loaded. The Salty Dogs will now send up Gary Firestone. He was a strikeout victim back in the second inning. He had a good cut at that one and just fouled down the left side. No balls and 1 strike. Bases loaded, 1 out, and a run in here in the top of the 4th for Rhode Island. Gary takes inside. Oh, my goodness, he called it a strike. I don't know about that one. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Way outside, 2-2. Pellegrini is on deck. Two balls, 2 strikes on Gary with the bases loaded, 1 out. You can tell that Gary trying to put that ball in the air and hit it hard somewhere. Kind of had a little bit of an uppercut swing on that one, and that's inside, and now the count is full. Gary would take a walk here. Try to push across another run here. You don't want to get out of this inning with just 1 run scored. after loading the bases with nobody out. The wind, the kick, and the delivery. And it's outside. Holy cow, are you kidding me? Holy moly, that pitch was probably a good 6 to 8 inches off the outside part of the plate. 6th strikeout for LaDuca, and Gary Firestone is not happy. And I don't blame him. I mean, I don't mind a ball length off one side of the plate as Al steps in here. He was a strikeout victim back in the second. But when you start spreading that strike zone 2 ball lengths away, I think now you got a problem. These guys paid to play. 1-1. So it's 1-0 Salty Dogs here in the top of the 4th inning. RBI single by Bill Wall. And now 2 strikes on Pellegrini. And an excuse me swing, and LaDuca, fielding his position well, will throw on to first to retire the side. But the Salty Dogs get 1, they leave 3. At the end of 3.5 innings of play, they lead 1-0. Here's the first pitch, line drive into right field, a base hit. So Bob Britz wasting absolutely no time. That was a nice-looking swing. So he is aboard. He represents the tying run, and here's catcher Alan Arthur batting for the second time. He walked back in the first inning. Fourth inning of work for the starting pitcher for the Salty Dogs, Larry Hendrickson. He has thrown 3 shutout innings. He has not struck out a batter. He's walked 2, and he's hit a batter. All the way back to the screen. Runner has to stay at first base in this 73 and over, and now you saw Alan Green come out, and he's just reminding the umpires that you cannot take a secondary lead here in the 73s. Good pitch. Arthur, a dangerous hitter. He's the cleanup hitter for the LA Athletics, who come in here with a record of 1-1. Fresh off a loss yesterday to MBI. I know they won the the national championship, as that's ball 4, and the first 2 have reached. MBI won it on APN Sports over at the former spring training home of the San Francisco Giants. Indian School Park. Here's a bunt, and they'll let that one roll foul. 0-1 on Dan Little, who popped up to the third baseman to end the home half of the first inning. Salty Dogs represent the visiting team. Athletics at the plate with 2 on. Here's another bunt, and this one's going to stay fair, and the only play is to first, and the first baseman cannot make the play. Well, that'll be an error. That's going to go as a sacrifice. And now the bases are loaded. Filled with Athletics. And now a quick meeting of the minds. Alan Green out there.
Talking about an illegal secondary lead.
You know, the 2 managers out there having a discussion about it. I think maybe it seemed pretty civil between the 2 managers. So the bases are loaded here in the home half of the 4th. Billy Bright swings at the first pitch, and Marconi makes the catch. Nice job. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off by the pitcher, and head first sliding safe is the runner, and he is in for the first score of the game for the Athletics, and it ties it up on a sacrifice fly to center field. Nice catch out there by Mike Marconi. They had a courtesy runner out there. That was John Lane. And the first pitch outside, ball 1 to Bob Sherwin. So you got runners at first and second. He squared the bunt. Looked like he offered it, that one. And the home plate umpire said no, and it's quickly 2-0 on Bob Sherwin. He bunts one anyway, and it's a good one, and this might be an infield hit. Throw to first, and a nice play by Larry Hendrickson. That'll go for a sacrifice, and now runners are at second and third, playing almost like a little bit of like women's softball, fast-pitch softball. Laying down the bunt. I did a lot of Arizona State University games in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I remember when I first started, their coach was a woman named Linda Wells, who really treated us pretty good over at Arizona State University. And halfway through the season, I said, Coach Wells, I gotta ask. I'm a baseball guy. Why do you bunt with a runner at first and one out? Because I am of the mind I don't like to bunt unless it's in limited situations. As Mark Miller, who hit into a 6-3 double play his first time up digging in. And he just drew a walk that will load the bases with 2 out. And that's just the way they do it in slow pitch softball or fast pitch softball. Maybe if the runner was at second base and you had a weak hitter at the plate, and I think a lot of times they do that because the pitching, it's a game that is kind of dominated by the pitching. Because your ace pitcher so many times, they'll have usually 2 starting pitchers. So that ace is pitching every, if you play 10 games, they're going to get in there 5 times. A lot of times that'll happen. So, you're seeing the top 2 pitchers, in a series in fast pitch softball, and I think that's why they do it. So the bases are loaded. We're in a 1-1 tie, bottom of the 4th inning. That one is fouled off, and Terry Teskey flied out to center field his first time up. There's a look at our starting catcher, Harry Eichmann. Slapped up the middle, and this is going to be a base hit. It goes out to center field. 1 run is going to score. That gives them the 2-1 lead, and that'll be an RBI single. So Terry Teskey drives in the go-ahead run for the Athletics. The bases remain loaded.
18, courtesy running.
And now the batter is going to be Billy Mitchell. Drew a walk his first time up. That was back in the 3rd inning. Salt River Fields, 2 runs in here in the bottom half of inning number 4. It's been a long inning for Hendrickson. He's had to throw a lot of pitches. Bill Mitchell taking a look at our home plate umpire. Did you see if looks could kill? Billy Mitchell, I think he just shot a couple of laser beams through the head of our home plate umpire. That was some look, like you're out of your mind. Salty Dogs need an out. They need to get their pitcher off that pitcher's mound and back into the dugout. 30 pitches in this inning alone. '25 MSBL World Series. We're in the 73 division. Here's the pitch to Mitchell, and he swings and wallops one, a hard hit ball down the line. Inside ball 4, and that's going to force in a run. That will make it a 3-1 ball game. Scoring was Arturo Martinez, who courtesy ran. And now the batter is Roger Johnson, and Alan Green is out to talk to his pitcher. Well, he's going to stay in there as we come back from a break. Here's a ball hit to shortstop. They'll go the short route, and that is that. But 3 runs come across, and at the end of 4 innings of play, Los Angeles with their first lead of the ball game, they lead it 3-1. This is APMvideo.com. So we head now to the top of the 5th inning back here from Salt River Fields. The 5th inning of work for the starter, Charlie LaDuca for Los Angeles. First up will be Jerry Daisy. Bounced out 1-3. LaDuca has made a couple of nice plays in the field. And it's always nice to have your starting pitcher who can also field his position. So it'll be Daisy, the 8th place hitter, and then Crudale and Pabon are the scheduled hitters coming up. And a pop-up foul and out of play. It's 3-1 Los Angeles coming off the heels of a bottom half 3-run 4th. Good eye. And now the count is full. Right-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher, the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. I'll tell you what, if it's close, and if you start heading down the line at first base on a pitch that's 3 balls, 2 strikes, I don't know. I haven't seen it at this degree. The umpire's going to benefit the pitcher. It's almost like they're offended that you're heading down that way. Pop-up foul, and it's 0-1 on Crudale. 7 punch-outs for Charlie LaDuca. Angelo was one of the 7 strikeout victims back in the 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. L.A. in the field, and the Red Tops leading it 3-1. All the scoring came in the 4th. Rhode Island got a run in the top of the 4th inning on an RBI single by Bill Wall. Smash left field, and that's a base hit. So Angelo is aboard. That is the 4th hit of the ball game so far for the Salty Dogs. And Rhode Island will now send up Ivan Pabon. He struck out looking to end the 3rd inning. We're in the top of the 5th. Los Angeles 3, Rhode Island 1. Pitch is high, ball 1. Well, let's see if Ivan can get things going here. Or Ivan. Not sure why he has "if" on the back of his helmet. It might be an international sign for something, and that looked like a pretty good pitch there. And I don't know if I couldn't tell if he called it a strike or a ball. Well, the one thing you don't want to do if you're LaDuca is start putting men on base via the walk or a hit batsman. You got to go after these guys, and you've got a 2-run lead here, and that is a strike called. Yeah. And he's not too happy. He was kind of spinning away from that pitch, and it was still called a strike. It's a little hard to tell from our vantage point, pinpoint, as he fouls this one off, and as a good hitter, fouling off the tough pitches is to stay alive. LaDuca delivers, and he struck him out swinging. Came back with, looked like an off-speed pitch, and he has punched out 8 Rhode Island Salty Dog hitters. And now we go back to the top of the order, Gad Holland. So not bad. 4 1/3 innings. He's got 8 strikeouts, averaging nearly 2 an inning. Fly ball left field, playable. That ball's going to fall in for a base hit. And Gad Holland has his 2nd hit of the day, the 5th hit for the Salty Dogs. A ball that probably should have been caught, but it falls in front of Arturo Martinez. So runners are at 1st and 2nd with 2 out. And now the center fielder, Mike Marconi, who has lined out to short and has drawn a walk in 2 tries. And the first pitch is way outside, ball 1. Well, once again, and this is a hard rule to, not only to enforce, but I think it's tough for the base runner because your whole life, and we are playing in the 73 and over. Your whole life, you take a secondary lead. That's part of baseball. And then to come out here, it's tough. That's tough. 2 on, 2 out. Top of the 5th inning. And he swings and hits one hard, but it's going to be a foul ball down the left field line. So Mike Marconi looking for his first hit. He'd like to come through here and draw his team to within 2, and he swings and hits one well into left center field, and it's going to drop. A base hit. Here comes a throw to the plate, and they're going to hold the runner at third. No, he's coming home, and he is out from here to there, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 2 left. We're halfway through this morning affair from Salt River Fields. It's 3-1 Los Angeles. And you're watching the 2025 Msbl World Series. First batter up, lines one out into right field, a base hit. So that's the second hit in 3 tries. Gary Firestone forgot to button his jersey. And now Sev Posner. And he squares the bunt. He lays one down third base side. Picked up there by the pitcher, and he'll throw him out. Good job, but that'll be a sacrifice. So both teams playing a little small ball. It's the 5th inning of work for Larry Hendrickson. He's the starting pitcher here today for Allen Green's Rhode Island Salty Dogs. And now the batter is going to be, this is number 4. This is John Lane. John Lane batting in that number 3 spot for Brits. He takes strike 1. And an excuse me swing, and it's a foul ball, and the count runs to no balls and 2 strikes. And this time, again, he fouls it off, trying to move that runner from second to third. So a good job by Bob Lane, laying off that outside pitch.
Where are the old fogey leg?
And now the next delivery, the 1-2, is tapped to the right side where the second baseman, Fest, gobbles it up and throws him out at first base, and that's a big second out. There's 2 down here in the inning. Fest has done a nice job defensively at second. And now the catcher, Alan Arthur. Popped him up. Let's see if somebody can make a play on this one. It's going to drop in, and that is going to produce a run. So an infield hit, RBI for Alan Arthur, and the lead is extended to 3 at 4-1 Athletics. StatCast tells us that last ball was hit, the exit velocity off the bat of Arthur was at 13 miles per hour. We only give you the exit velocity on the laser beam hits. So, runner at first base, still 2 out. And now the next batter up is going to be, this is going to be number 5, Martinez, the left fielder. So Martinez up there with 2 out and a runner at first base. A run is in. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, it's 4-1. And he swings and wallops one, a hard hit shot to left field, and it gets by the left fielder. That'll be a base hit. This is going to produce a run. That'll be a 2-base hit for Martinez. Another run is in, and it is now 5-1. No, he did not score. He did not score. Well, I looked away to put the mark on my score sheet, and I look up, he's still at third base. So, nonetheless, you got runners at second and third, and a tough hitter here in Billy Bright. 4-1, Athletics lead, bottom of the fifth. Gutsy performance by Larry Hendrickson. He's still out on the mound. I love that two-shot right there. That's pretty cool. And here's a ball hit down the third. He's up with it. He throws, and he got him, and the side is retired. They get a run in the inning, and they now lead L.A. over this Salty Dogs Rhode Island team by a score of 4-1. And we'll be back with more in just a moment. Well, we got a new hurler in for the Athletics. As soon as he turns around, we'll give you his name. Well, he's going to go up against Mark Fess. Popped him up. Can anybody get there? It's going to drop in. Fess was hustling all the way, and he'll be credited with a base hit, his second hit of the ball game. And that is hit number 7 for the Salty Dogs, still very much alive in this game. So the next batter up, this is another new hitter, and this is Ralph Leake. And here's a perfect bunt down the line, and there'll be no throw. Pretty good speed by Ralph Leake. Outfielder by Trait, and so he is on. Back-to-back hits. Brings the tying run to the plate, and Steve Stallman. Stallman has walked. He has popped up to the pitcher. First and second occupied. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. And it looked like he had a pretty good cut at that one. He's going to foul this one off third base side. You got Gary Firestone waiting on deck, and there he is. Gary and I go back, I want to say 1999. I think it was a game out there at Autry Park or somewhere out in East Mesa. It was a beautiful facility. I don't think it was Autry. That was the first time I think I filmed for him. Here's a line shot, and that ball is going to get down. It's out in the left center field. This should produce a run, and it will. Fess will score from second, and now it's 4-2. So Stallman with an RBI single. The first 3 have reached via a base hit. 9 hits in total. And now Gary Firestone has a chance to wear the laurel of hero if he can come through here. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, and the first pitch is way outside, ball 1. In there for a strike. Lefty on lefty. That ball nearly hit him, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. It looked like Gary gave him a look or said something there. First and second, nobody out. A run is in. And he pops it up, and it's foul and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gary. Firestone at the plate with runners at first and second, first and second in the pitch. And he struck him out swinging. So there is now 1 out here in the inning. New pitcher on the mound here for the Athletics is going to be Rick McGaley. Kind of hard to read the handwriting. We'll just call him Rick. Here's a throw down to third, and the runner is back in.
Threw it away.
And that ball gets away from the infielders. A second run will score, and it's now 4-3 as the Athletics lead has been cut to 1. Get a look at Steve Stallman down there at first base, all smiles.
Ball. Last pitch is a ball.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, this is Barton batting for the first time. And it's low and inside, ball 4. And this has been a pretty good inning here for Rhode Island. The 2 have scored. They have runners at first and second with 1 out. And Jerry Daisy will be Carter.
New pitcher.
I think it's Carter Juice.
Number 39.
And now 39 is into the game, and this is Hector Zapata. So Zapata taking over for Rick. First pitch outside, ball one. We're in the top of the sixth inning. The LA Athletics, who play in the National Division, the highest division in the 73 and over. So I guess we're in the 73 National American Division. And a big swing and a miss right there by today's starting shortstop as Carter digging in against the new right-hander Zapata, with a chance to tie this game up with a tying run at second and the go-ahead run at first base. In the air, and the shortstop is there to make the catch. So Billy Bright taking care of business, and how big is that out? 2 down. Here's Angelo. He had a single his last time. He struck out his first time. And a swing and a foul, and he's down 0-1. 4-3 Athletics. They're in the field, and here's a pop-up and caught by Billy Bright as he leaped high into the air to make that catch, and that'll retire the side. But Rhode Island gets 2, and we head to the home half of the sixth inning. LA leads Rhode Island 4-3. Al Pellegrini will be the second pitcher used here today from manager Alan Green. He'll take over for Hendrickson, who pitched very well, and he's going to be greeted with a hard hit ball out into left field, and it drops him for a base hit. Ralph Leaf was able to knock that ball down, but not before Sherman drives the ball into left field for a base hit. So they continue to do a nice job in getting on base here. And so now the batter is going to be Mark Miller, and he started the square to bunt. Actually, this is not Miller. We got a new hitter in this part of the batting order, and he's going to head down to first with a free pass. So now batting in this position is number 12, and that's Gary Fawkes. Strike called. Another new hitter up here, number 18. It takes me a little while to find these guys. It's John Pepin. Drills one out into right field, and that's a base hit, and it's going to get into the gap. Here comes a runner around third, and he is going to score. The throw to second is not in time, and it's now a 5-3 ball game. And now the ball gets away again. Here comes the second run home, and he's going to score. So a 2-run hit for John Pepin coming off the bench, and he lines one out into right field, a base hit. So a 2-run hit for him. 2 runs have come across, and now the batter is going to be Williamson, batting in place of Terry Teskey. And he hits one down the left field line, and it's going to be a fair ball. Leaf will get it back in, but not before the run will score. And all of a sudden, the Athletics have put 3 runs up here on the board. Williamson with an RBI hit. And just like that, it is now, after it got down to 4-3 at the end of 5.5. And now the score is 7-3 Los Angeles. And now the batter is going to be Roger Johnson. So 10 hits in total now for the Athletics, and they lead it 7-3 here on the 2025 Msbl World Series. Johnson looking for his first hit of the ball game. So not a good start for Al as he has just taken over on the mound. He has given up a total of 3 hits and 3 runs here. And there's still nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. This one's popped up, and that's going to be out of play. Still in there at catcher is Harry Eichmann. And now a full count. He is a pitch away from putting on a batter here, and this one's lined into left field, a base hit. Runners will be at first and second. That is the first hit of the ball game for Johnson. That's hit number 4 in the inning. Runners are at first and second with nobody out. And now bunting is Wayne Haas down the first base line, and he elects to allow it to roll foul. Barry Peterman now playing first base for Rhode Island. And strike 2 called. Good pitch. Needs an out here. Nobody on. Or rather, nobody out. And a called third strike on a pitch that looked like it was way out of the strike zone. And now the second place hitter in the starting lineup is Seb Posner. He's looking for his first hit. Had a sacrifice bunt his last time up, and it's 0-2. Lifted in the air, but it's going to be foul and out of play. And here's a smash to the shortstop. They'll go second one. Nice play there. And the throw to first a little bit low, and the runner will move to second on the errant throw. So now 4 runs have come across. Scoring on the play is Bill Mitchell. And just like that, it is now 8-3 in favor of the Los Angeles Athletics. And now the batter is going to be Bobby Britz. Got a runner at second base, and Bobby Britz drives one into the gap into right center field. That's a base hit. Coming around third, Seb Posner scoring on the play, and it is a 5-run inning. RBI hit by the third place hitter for the Athletics, Bobby Britz, and it's now 9-3 in favor of the LA A's. Hit number 12 for the Athletics, and Alan Arthur, the catcher, will try to extend the inning. And a fly ball to left field, and that'll retire the side. But a big inning for Los Angeles. They played 5, and we are now heading to the top of the 7th inning. It is a new ball game as the Athletics lead it by a score of 10-3. All right, the batter is going to hit one, and this is going to be a base hit. So a new hitter up there is Craig Rickman. He's got a base hit. That is the 10th hit of the day for the Rhode Island Salty Dogs. And now the next hitter up is going to be the first baseman, Barry Peterman. First time up for Barry, and he swings and hits one down the line, and that's a fair ball. He put a jolt into that one, and that's a base hit, and runners are at first and second. So the Salty Dogs, who had a really tough time in the field in the bottom of the 6th inning, giving up 7 runs. And Peterson was actually batting for Gad Holland as Mike Marconi bats for the 4th time. He has a single, a walk, and he's 1 for 2. Ground ball third. It's bobbled there. Can't tag the runner, but he gets the fielder's choice at second. And a good job by the third baseman staying with the play. So the fielder's choice puts him at first and third with 1 out, and the batter is Mark Fess. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. He's 2 for 3. And a bit tardy on that one. And the count runs to 0 balls and 2 strikes on Mark Fess. Los Angeles leading it here in the top of the 7th inning. And here's a smash down to the third baseman. He bobbles it, picks it up. He rifles it to first. And Fess, it looked like he was safe, and they called him out. So that will go 5-3. The run will score, and that cuts the deficit. That is the 4th run of the day for Rhode Island. So there's 2 down, and here's Bill Wall. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Rhode Island needs some runs, down a touchdown. Strike called. Well, Bill's had a big day. One reason why he's in that cleanup spot. He's 2 for 3, a run scored, and an RBI. 2-1. Lifted in the air to right field. This is going to get down. It gets by the right fielder. And here comes a runner around third, and he will score the second RBI hit for Bill Wall. And 2 have been plated here for the Salty Dogs. So Rhode Island right back in this ball game, and I have 9-5 as the score here. Scoring 2 times, and here is Steve Stallman trying to extend the top of the 7th inning. And a wave and a miss, and down he goes. We head to the home half of the 7th inning from the 2025 Msbl World Series. Good job by Sabata, and his team is up 9-5 as we go to the 7th inning of the 2025 Msbl World Series. All right, first up here for the A's, we're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and it's Dan Little. Little batting for the third time. He has popped up to third. He has also laid down a sacrifice bunt. And the second inning of work, as that one's in there for a called strike by Al Pellegrini. Takes strike 2 called. You can hear the wind in our microphone, and we even have for a lack of a better term, a filter on that, and it's still, that tells you just how strong that wind is. Ground ball to the shortstop, and Carter is up with it, and the long throw across, that will not be in time. The throw is a little wide. That will be an infield hit for Little, and that's his first base hit of the ball game. 13 hits now in total for the Athletics, who lead it by a score of 9-5 here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. So the next batter is the shortstop, Billy Bright. Bright has hit a ground out to second base, sacrifice fly, and he is grounded out 5-3, third base to first. Played a nice game at shortstop here. Leadoff hitter is aboard to start the bottom half of the 7th inning. And here's a swinging bunt down the line, and this is going to trickle foul. Ernie Barton still down there at the hot corner. A couple of strikes on Billy Bright with Bob Sherwin on deck. And that's inside ball 4. So the first 2 have reached here in the 7th inning, and now let's see what Sherman's going to do. He's already got a sacrifice to his credit. He lays one down, and it stays fair barely, and the throw on to first is in time, and a nice defensive play by Eichmann, Harry Eichmann, and the sacrifice goes 2-3. Runners are now at second and third with 1 out, and Mark Miller will return to the lineup after a hiatus in the 7th inning. Or I should say in the 6th inning. L.A. on top here. Here's a pop-up to the second baseman. He'll play it on the hop. That should score the run as the throw goes to first. There's 2 down here in the inning. But scoring on the play is Arturo Martinez. And just like that, it's now 10-5. Runner at third with 2 out. Terry Teskey batting for the third time. Terry is flied out. He had an RBI single in the 2 tries. And then I think it was Williamson that batted in his place in that big inning in which L.A. kind of put the gap between them and the Salty Dogs. Here's a looper back of shortstop, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. They'll score the run from third base. It's a 2-run inning, and it's 11-5. RBI single for Teskey, his second RBI at bat of the day. And now the batter is going to be Joe Williamson. Williamson had an RBI single when he came into the game back in the 6th inning. Chopping ball foul. Couple of strikes on Williamson. And here's a ball hit out into left field. And that ball's going to drop in. So Williamson with a pair of hits here. Runners are at first and second. Still 2 out. And Roger Johnson, the scheduled hitter. But it's not Johnson. Instead, this ball is hammered up the middle. They're going to throw it to second. And all he had to do is tag him, and they're going to say he is out. And that is an 8-4 put out to retire the side. They get 2 in the inning. That was Rick Held at the plate. And at the end of 7 innings of play, with 2 runs coming in, it's now 11-5 in favor of the Los Angeles Angels. Gary Firestone will lead things off, and he hits a comebacker to the mound. Zapata, who's done a nice job since coming on, and he'll throw on to first, and Firestone is out 1-3. Now the third baseman coming up. First time up for Ernie Barton. Done a stellar job down there at third base defensively for the Rhode Island Salty Dogs, who come in here with a 2-0 record and playing up in the American Division. Here's a ground ball down to first base. That one's gobbled up, and take it to the bag for the out. 2 down, Terry Teskey. So that goes 3 unassisted, 2 down. And now Carter up there batting. Popped up to the shortstop his first time up. We are beginning to get very close to the time limit. If this stays as a quick inning, the Athletics should get one more at bat, but we won't go to the 9th. And this one's popped up in the left field, and Carter has a base hit. Well, 13 hits today for the Salty Dogs. We're going to get a new hitter for Angelo Crudale, and it's going to be number 76, and that's Will Rios. Ball 1. 11-5. Salty Dogs trailing Los Angeles. And here's a ball roped out into right field for a base hit. Let's see if they go station to station. The ball gets away from the cutoff man. And so now you got runners at first and second. Courtesy runner is Crudale. Now the batter is Ivan Pabon.
Jeez.
Called that a strike, I believe. It's 0-1. He's looking for his first hit of the game. He's got a chance to drive in a couple of runs. Like we said, I think we're coming up on that 3-hour time limit. I don't think, unless they can tie it up here, that we would have enough time for them to come back around in the top of the 9th inning, talking about the Salty Dogs. Zapata delivers. That one way up and in. Nearly taking the head off of Ivan. Hector is eating up some innings here for Los Angeles. Here's a ball lifted in the air back of first base, and that one's going to drop in. And they are going to throw him out at first base, and that'll retire the side. Well, hold on. Not sure what the officials are talking about here. Oh, you cannot throw a runner out from the outfield. I totally forgot about that. So how about that? So that's a base hit. Good job of hitting there by Ivan or Yvonne. And now Frank Millian. I think Millian's been on APN a couple of times, or recognize that name. Yeah, the other thing is you really can't have a secondary lead. Once you establish your lead, that's it. So if you want a big lead, if you want to get off the, as this one has hit the shortstop, and they're going to go the short route, and that'll retire the side. Good job by the Athletics getting out of trouble. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. And we're coming to you from Salt River Fields. It's the 2025 Msbl World Series. We got a new pitcher, cleanup hitter today, Bill Wall. They will most likely stop this half inning because the Athletics have the lead here. It's 11-5. Once we get to that 3-hour time threshold, and here's going to be an infield hit. Possibly no. Good job by Wall. And a nice job staying with that, the first baseman, Jerry Daisy. So 1 up and 1 down. Next up, it's going to be Bill Alber batting for the first time. He takes a strike. Yeah, if you want a big lead and you can't take a secondary lead, you got to get off the base. You got to be pretty far off on the delivery of the next pitch if you want a big lead, but then you run the risk of getting picked off. Slap to the third baseman. He's got it on the lip of the grass. He'll rifle it over to first base. Outstanding play for out number 2, and Ernie Barton doing his a la Brooks Robinson impersonation. There's 2 down here in the inning. Here's a man who has looked pretty good at the plate. He had a 2-run single his last time up, Bobby Britz. He takes a strike from new pitcher and cleanup hitter Bill Wall. And a wave and a miss. Ready with the next offering. And this one tapped to the right side. And Jerry will throw on to first base, and that will retire the side as we go to the 9th inning. And I guess we're going to keep playing. So they do indeed. We'll get that last at bat. Gary Firestone and the Salty Dogs trail by 6. All right, Jeff Lowry back here from the ballpark. I think we have already passed that 3-hour time threshold and getting a look at the manager, Alan Green, batting for the first time. Well, Hector Zapata has done a nice job out there for the Athletics on the mound. That was his 4th inning of work in relief of Rick. Starting pitcher Charlie LaDuca was outstanding. Pitched the front 5 for the Athletics, and that is going to be a strikeout against Alan Green. 1 up and 1 down here in the top of the 9th inning. He gave up 1 run, talking about Charlie LaDuca, the starting pitcher, the southpawer for the Athletics. 5 innings of 6-hit, 1-run baseball, and he struck out 8, so he had a good line. And here's a ball hit down the left field line, and that is a base hit. Good piece of hitting by Barry Peterman. He's 2 for 2. So Peterman is aboard, and they'll bring out a courtesy runner for him, and that'll be Gad Holland. Mike Marconi Second place hitter batting for the 5th time. He has walked. He's reached on a fielder's choice. He's 1 for 3. Ground ball short. They go second one. They'll turn the double play. They will not turn the double play. The relay throw was off the mark just a bit. So it's up to Mark Fess, runner at first base and 2 out. We're in the top of the 9th inning. LA leads it 11-5 here from Salt River Fields. And a ground ball back to the mound, and this should do it. The throw to first is in time. And the final score is Los Angeles 11, Rhode Island 5. The winning pitcher is Charlie LaDuca. And give credit to Hector Zapata for the save. 4 innings of relief. Or pitched in 4 innings of relief. And that is that. This has been a presentation of 8 p.m. Video Sports. Thank you for being with us. And until next time, so long, everybody.